warm welcome to State of Business on our television. I'm Hishain Ali and let's have a look at the headlines first. The Inland Revenue Department assures that 143 billion rupees incurred from the tax reduction can be recovered. Transparency International Sri Lanka urges the Speaker to reveal the forensic audits of the central bank to the public and parliamentarians. News in detail. The Inland Revenue Department of Sri Lanka says it is confident that the 143 billion rupees incurred from the tax reduction can be recovered. Meanwhile, Inland Revenue Commissioner General Nadun Guruge assured that the complaints lodged by the general public claiming that they are not witnessing direct benefits of the tax cuts will receive a positive response at the end of this month. Thus, the Inland Revenue Department noted that the progressive rate available on personal income is revised to 6%, 12% and 18% and tax-free limit or the tax slab is revised to 3 million rupees per annum with effect from January 2020. It was also mentioned that the corporate income tax will be revised with effect from April 1st this year. Thus, the revised corporate income tax on exports, tourism, education, Medicare, construction and agro-processing will be 14%, manufacturing will be 18%, while liquor, tobacco, betting and gaming will be 28%. Trading, banking, finance and insurance etc. will be at 24%. Meanwhile, Inland Revenue Commissioner General Nadun Guruge explained in detail as to how the government will recover the loss incurred from the VAT concessions.
Our VAT loss is 143 billion. We hope that then once the people should invest, people should purchasing power. Then for an example, I am paying pay tax by 1st of April, I think. Yeah. Then now pay is not deducted. That means indirectly my salary has been increased. This salary, then either we can invest, either we can make savings and or purchase something. My salary has been increased now. Then we hope that loss will be recovered after booming this country economy. We wanted that amount to be invested and amount to be consumed. Maybe we have 1.5 million government servants. All they are not paying pay taxes, but most of them are paying pay taxes. Then that's why we explain that consumer, maybe a demand will be increased and supply will be increased. Right after that, economy will be boom.
President Gotabaya Rajapaksa decides to implement a national program to provide essential food items at concessionary prices, comprising a number of other benefits to individuals in low-income families. A communique issued by the President's Media Division says a special electronic card will be given to all chosen recipients to purchase food items under the program. Accordingly, as per the directives of the President, the beneficiaries will be chosen from Samurdhi recipients, non-Samurdhi recipients, individuals who do not have permanent jobs, needy workers in the plantation sector, differently abled persons from families without jobs, families of widows without a proper income, elders without a permanent income, and those suffering from serious illnesses. Ensuring food safety and quality of life for such vulnerable groups is the objective of program, and under this program, recipients will get essential food items such as sugar, tea, rice, flour, dal, chickpeas, onions, chilies, dried fish, potatoes and milk powder at concessionary prices. These food items will be issued through Lanka Sathus outlets, cooperative shops and chosen retail food outlets across the country. Under the program, if the chosen retail food outlets, especially in the rural areas, do not have proper equipment such as refrigerators, they too would be provided at concessionary prices. The President, through the program, also hopes to uplift the small-scale entrepreneurs and producers of various food items, and food items produced by such entrepreneurs will be directly purchased from them by authorities without the involvement of any third party or middleman. Meanwhile, to coincide with the program, plans are being made to supply clean drinking water to 150,000 identified households in rural, urban and plantation areas and develop 100,000 kilometers of rural roads. The recipients will also be provided with 100,000 land plots on a 30-year lease for agriculture and housing purposes through programs implemented by Lands Ministry, the Land Reform Commission and the BIM Savia program. Transparency International Sri Lanka calls on the Speaker to reveal the contents of the forensic audits of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka to the public and parliamentarians. TISL is also in the view that the scope of these forensic audits is unprecedented and can provide a cornerstone for addressing long-standing mismanagement within the public finance in Sri Lanka. The reports of the central bank were to be tabled at the Committee on Public Enterprises and debated during the previous session of Parliament. However, TISL says it is concerned by the decision of the Attorney General to advise the Speaker against circulating the report openly among MPs. TISL Executive Director Ashok Obesekara says the dual role of the Attorney General as both legal advisor to the government and public prosecutor raises a potential conflict of interest as a result of a design flaw in the institutional mandate of the Attorney General's department. He further said that notwithstanding the bona fide of officials in the department in the case of release of the forensic audit reports, it is natural for the public to question the role of the Attorney General and whether government interest aligns with the public interest. Thus, TISL calls on the Speaker to make Parliament's constitutional duty as overseer of public finance the prime consideration in its determination on the form in which the forensic audit reports will be disclosed. Obesekara added that having spent 900 million rupees of taxpayer money to produce these reports and being mindful of the fact that public scrutiny is a key driver of accountability, the reports should be made available to the public and their elected representatives. Ministry of Defence declared a week-long general amnesty to Triforce's absentees, enabling them to receive a discharge or to rejoin and continue their national service to the country. Military spokesperson Brigadier Chandana Wickramasinghe said that the ministry also declares an island-wide grace period to hand over illegal firearms held without valid permits or documents.
Declaring general amnesty and grace period to hand over illegal weapons. A week-long general amnesty has been declared under the direction of His Excellency President Gotabaya Rajapaksa to Triforce's absentees, enabling them to receive a discharge or to rejoin and to continue their national service to the country. General amnesty would be in force for 7 days, commencing from February 5, 2020, and is offered to Triforce's absentees who have been marked absent without leave before September 30, 2019. This measure has been taken with the intention to provide an opportunity for Triforce's personnel who had served the nation under difficult circumstances, facing numerous hardships, and had left their respective service without following proper procedures. Meanwhile, as a measure to ensure public security and safety and to curb threats post illegal firearms, an island-wide grace period has been announced to hand over all illegal firearms held without valid permits or proper documents from February 5 to 12, 2020. Such firearms can be handed over to the nearest police station during this period.
Stay tuned for more news right after this commercial break. And welcome back after the break. Micro Automobiles Chairman Dr. Lawrence Pereira says a consortium of investors will partner with Microcars Sri Lanka to invest $300 million to build modern city buses, luxury coaches, and to expedite the light railway project. Thus, Chairman of Microcars Dr. Lawrence Pereira said that these vehicles will be built to EU standards and will revolutionize the public transport.
This year we are targeting to bring in initial investment. We are discussing with a consortium of investors to bring in at least $300 million to the country as investment for working capital or whatever the need for expansion of our factory. This is building of buses and the DMU. We call it light rail concept. It's not only for the buses, because this is a project which have got already delayed by 15 over years. I mean, that is the need of the hour. I mean, we are already late in the market, but there is a huge demand for commuter service, for quick, shuttle service. This is not, we are talking of Colombo to Jaffna. We are not talking of Colombo to Nanuya. We are talking of suburb connectivity, rural Colombo connectivity.
Praising President Gotabaya Rajapaksa's recent move to re-energize the battered tourism sector, Chairman of Microcars Dr. Lawrence Pereira also added that the company's initiative to revolutionize the public transport system, rendering a reliable, safe and economical service, will be instrumental to attract more tourists for the country.
Recently, Our Excellency President was saying he's looking at developing tourism industry. That's a very good move. I mean, tourism for us is free, but when these tourists come, we have to take care of them from A to B, from airport to their destination. So for this, you need good transportation. That's where you need reliable, safe and economical transportation.
The Export Development Board announces that the total value of merchandise exports of the country for the first 11 months of 2019 was recorded at $10.7 billion. The ADB also announces that the 11-month period showed an increase of $180 million in value and a 1.7% growth when compared to the similar period of the previous year. The apparel and textile sector contributed 47% of the total value of merchandise exports and remained as the largest contributor to total exports, followed by tea, rubber and coconut. The contribution from the tea sector was 11% and rubber-based products recorded its share as 7.5%. Meanwhile, coconut and coconut-based products and engineering products also contributed the exports by 5%, while shares of all other sectors recorded less than 5% during the period under review. Only the apparel and tea sectors were capable of maintaining its usual patterns, recording over $1 billion worth of exports. While the apparel sector records an income of $5,096 million, the tea industry made $1,242 million. The list of top 10 markets for Sri Lanka's merchandise exports for the period is headed by the United States of America with $2.856 million, United Kingdom with $925 million, India with $703 Germany $594 million, and Italy with $490 million. The USA became the only market with a billion figure, which currently records a 26% of the market share with a continuous growth over the last 6 years, while India, Japan, Belgium and the UAE showed a drop in the exports list. The value for the exports to China recorded as $209 million, while the prominent items being apparel, tea, in bulk and edible fish products. And now we have a subject expert at First Capital Holdings bringing you a detailed review on the stock performances for the past week and a stock forecast for the coming week to assist you in decision-making activities.
Bourse ended in negative territory throughout the week, primarily on the price losses made in blue-chip counters, such as CTC and John Keells Holdings. Foreign selling was primarily centered on John Keells, while buying interest was seen on selected counters, such as Ceylon Bank non-voting, TAFL and Tokyo voting. We expect a gradual positive momentum in market activity on the expectation of companies registering a recovery in most counters. We expect activity levels to remain moderate, while foreigners may continue to be on the selling side, although strong buying interest from locals is likely to absorb the impact.
Stay tuned for the stock updates. Welcome back. Trading at Colombo Stock Exchange ended on a negative note today. The all share price index dropped 8.07 points to close at 5,132.92 and the S&P SL20 dropped 16.16 points to close at 2,791.06. The turnover was 600 million rupees and over 11 million shares were traded. Up next are forex rates. That's all news today, and log into our Facebook page to get the latest news and updates. Also, don't forget to send us your comments, views and opinions via our email address and hotline. With that, we'll be signing out for today and see you tomorrow with Best Roundup. Until then, take care, good night.